guys, and welcome to HalloTarot week here on KikiLiving. This is the week of Halloween, or leading up to Halloween, where I like to focus on mostly pick a card readings, and we like to look at, I wouldn't say the darker energies, but just more supernatural or energies that maybe we wouldn't usually look at. I don't know, things related that I think are somehow related to spooky season. Anyway, so that is what the next couple of videos on my channel are gonna be this week, or leading up to Halloween at least. There will probably be a couple of lighting changes. One, because of the time of day I chose to do this reading, and also the space that I film in kind of just fluctuates with lighting a lot, so apologies for that, but you're here for the messages anyway, I'm sure. So yes, HalloTarot week. This is the third time I've done this, I think. So I've got like, I think I did one in 2021. I'm not sure what year I started this actually. Maybe it was 2020 when I started doing this. So I will link down below the other videos that I've done around this whole concept as well, so that while you wait for the rest of this week's videos to come, you can go ahead and watch those if you are interested. But anyway, today's video we are getting into, well, we're looking at a message from a passed on loved one. So if you have no one that you can really connect to, well, I set the intention for this reading for you guys to kind of either request a message or attempt to request a message from someone that you connect to dearly that has passed on now, or if you feel like there is no one who fits that kind of category, or so no one that you would want to receive a message from, you can also request a message from your ancestors, because they also pass on loved ones. These are from loved ones who have a kind of positive spirit, just because I really wanted to protect myself when I'm doing stuff like this, where I'm not tapping into any energies that are negative. So yeah, hopefully we get some good messages coming through, and let me go ahead and show you the options that I have for you today. Okay, so here are the 3 options that I have for you today. Starting off with option number 1, we have the Selenite wand. Next, with option number 2, we have Smokey quartz. And finally, with option number 3, you have 2 crystals, because I originally picked out Howlite, but I kept accidentally saying Lapis Lazuli, so I decided to just pick up a Lapis Lazuli for you as well. So you have 2 crystals to choose from. And I'm going to ask you now to take a deep breath in and out, and ask yourself which of these crystals or piles, options, has a message for you today. And I will see you all at your reading. Before we begin, please do remember this is a general reading, so only take what resonates and leave the rest behind, because you are not the ugly stepsister. Please do not force that shoe onto your foot. Okay, hi there, option number 1. Welcome to your reading. Those of you who chose the Selenite wand here, this is your reading. So, this is really the most oracle cards I've pulled in a long time for a reading, so these are all going to be for the message that this person has for you. So we'll put that over there. And first of all, we want to start off by looking at who this person actually is. Okay, interesting. think I am gonna turn over the goddess card straight away as well. And we actually have the goddess Demeter with a nurturer here. I do feel for some of you guys this could be like a grandmother that you're connecting to. I feel there's like a contrast here between play and seriousness or strictness. Because I feel like this person could be quite playful, but at the same time they kind of know when to not lay the law down, but you know, like, come on guys, let's get it moving. And then we also have the Queen of Swords here, which is in reverse. Yeah, there is an element of playfulness with this person. As much as there's an element with playfulness with this person, there is also an element of, again, like I said, a bit of seriousness as well. Practicality. They might be the type of person who like to play tricks, especially like jokes or anything that could kind of get them in trouble, but because of who they were, it never really did get them in trouble. There's almost like this childlike innocence to them. They don't have to be a child, but they just held this childlike nature to them. They could have had Leo qualities as well, even though the sun is not here. I think they're a big thinker as well, or they had a lot of, I'm almost seeing like a nutty scientist. It's like the experiments don't always go to plan, or the activity doesn't always go to plan, but the idea is there. Yeah, there is a divine connection in them. Because I'm drawn to the fact that this card is a number 11. And also with the Hanged Man here, it's a card of Pisces, which has a spiritual wisdom to them. Although Pisces can sometimes seem a bit aloof, a bit chaotic, a bit not really here, but actually there's a lot of spiritual wisdom in there. And that's how I feel for this person. It's almost difficult for me to describe. Because whilst they might come across as very playful and maybe not always making the best choices or decisions, even if it's not like the worst thing in the world, but yeah, maybe not always making the best choices and decisions. Let's just stick with that. There is a level of wisdom to them. So let's get some more information about who this person is that we're connecting to here. Let me clarify the Queen of Swords in reverse, please. See, now we have the Queen of Cups. So there's that nurturing energy. That's what I felt, I should say. I didn't really say it because I almost don't know how to describe it, but it's like, even though they might put across a level of strictness, it's almost unserious in a way. It's like that really playful parent or the really playful responsible figure in your life or caregiver. Why am I struggling to find the right word for this person? Maybe that's just how they were. It's like, I just don't know how to describe them, but they were just great. Like, their energy is just great. So yeah, that kind of person in your life who has that playful side to them, and when they try to kind of be a bit more responsible or lay down the law, it's like, you're not afraid of them. You're not like, oh, quick, let's do this because they're going to tell us off. It's almost like you kind of laugh about the idea of them trying to make some rules. But there is a level of respect here with the Devil card, I see. But the Devil also does play into that kind of quality of maybe sometimes overindulging, like letting us, maybe they let us stay up too late sometimes, and they didn't really have, it's like the person you went to kind of really tap into that childlike energy and childlike experiences. So can you clarify the Devil here, please, or who this person is that I'm connecting to? Yeah, the Two of Cups here. So they definitely could have been a water sign as well. Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer. I do feel very heavy Pisces and some Scorpionic energy here as well. The World card. See, this is what I mean. They could have actually been very well traveled as well. A bit of a nomad, or someone who couldn't really stay in one place. Even if it wasn't like them traveling the world, maybe they were always out doing something. I feel for a lot of you, this is going to be an older person that we're connecting to, but take it as it resonates there. Like even when they were maybe old and they couldn't really get around as much, they were always just doing things. They were always managing to find them somewhere doing something that maybe sometimes they should not have been doing as well. So Page of Wands as well. Look at that, more page energy. This person has such great energy to them. Like, I feel so rejuvenated, I feel so alive. And again, that idea that I spoke about this person carrying a lot of ideas. They almost have this, again, that nutty professor, that engineer spirit to them. Like, they don't quite know what they're making or how the idea is gonna play out, but it's there. The idea is there. Some of them might have been Aquarius as well, have Aquarius placements. And clarify the Seven of Swords here, please. Who this person is. Two of Swords in reverse. Yeah, so again, whilst this person might have tried to be responsible, especially if they were in a role of taking care of you, if you were a child or something like that, but whilst this person might have tried to be responsible, they might have struggled in that area sometimes. Like, we even have the Four of Wands in reverse here at the bottom of the deck. It's almost like the practicality part of life, again, very Piscean, but the practicality part of life wasn't really their forte. But they had a real great depth of emotion. They really knew how to tap into, I don't even know if it was necessarily about them expressing their own emotions, but I just feel like they were very caring, very loving, and they wouldn't be the type of person, like, if you were crying, to be like, hey, stop crying now, like, it's done. They would be the type of person who'd really just take care of you in your time of need. Yeah, this is a really nice person. It's a really beautiful person. So they might have struggled in relationship area of things. They may have find themselves sometimes maybe engaging in toxic relationships with people. I'm just going to zoom out a bit because this keeps going out of focus. I apologize for that. They might have found themselves engaging in some toxic relationships with people, particularly because I think they did lack a little bit of boundaries sometimes. They didn't quite know when to cut people off, and they did have that very open heart about them where they just kind of gave people a lot of chances and yeah, had a very open heart, a very trusting person. So with Demeter here, we have the message of when you have a healthy sense of yourself, you want to share your love, your inspiration, and your experiences. The exchange feels clean. Your boundaries are fluid. It says yet strong here, but I don't know if this person necessarily had the best boundaries sometimes. Demeter reminds you that the harvest is meant to be shared. Tapping into a nurturing love which is abundant, and your well-meaning gestures will be received with gratitude, in some way return to you tenfold. I think as well, because this person is so giving, or was so giving even, when they kind of came to their last moments in their life, especially if it was a fact of old age, I think that you guys, or those around them, really came to their need, like came to their aid, I should say. Like they really were there to care for them, because this person had cared for them previously. So that's kind of what I'm getting for who this person is. So I want to go into the message that they have for you now. So first of all, we've got quite a few oracle cards, so I'm going to put out all of these, and then we're going to get some tarot cards as well to clarify the messages. So the first things we have is honor thyself. Oh, it also says, just curious, when was the last time you looked into the mirror and addressed yourself as gorgeous, magnificent, or sublime? It matters. Here's looking at you, gorgeous. P.S. Hubba hubba counts. So honor thyself. We have here look for fairies. We have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Chemistry. There is a strong magnetic chemistry here. We have the castle. And I'm going to pull from this deck actually again. Just going to go for about 2 cards. What message? So we just had the star card come out here. It did fall out in reverse. So I'm going to put it in reverse actually. And we have the King of Wands. Okay, so one major message that I see from this person to you guys today is about, I was about to say about honoring thyself, which is literally here, but that's not what I meant to say. I meant to say, wow, this person has very forgetful energy as well. Let's just see if there's any more to this message that they want to share. Yeah, so 100% just again reiterating the message of stepping into your power, not waiting for people to come in to like back up your dreams, but actually just doing it because it's what you want to do. Also speaking up for yourself more with the Knight of Swords here in reverse. This person I feel like was very confident and vocal in what they wanted, and they weren't afraid to let others know where they stand. They weren't afraid to be a little bit kooky, a little bit weird, and get those titles or connotations associated with what their interests were, what they did, or how they chose to express themselves. They kind of just loved so much who they they loved who they were so much that it didn't really matter what other people thought of them. And even if external people thought they were weird or thought they were a bit ungrounded, it's like, well, I still had people who loved me at the end of the day. I still had my support system, and I still was very open and gave all the love that I had to give. And that was very fulfilling for them. And they want you guys to, I feel like it's a kind of not morbid message, but a bit deep message. They want you guys to reach that stage in your life, or when you reach the end of your life, to really be able to look back and say like, wow, look at all the things I did, look at all the things I experienced, look how I'm so happy with the way that I didn't allow people's ideas of me to hold me back, really. So yeah guys, that is the message that I have, that is the message that this loved one has for you today, wanted you to hear today. I hope that it helps you out. Thank you all for coming to this reading. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up and let me know what you thought down below. Yeah, stay tuned for the rest of HalloTarot week, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. Hi there, option number 2. Those of you who chose the Smokey Quartz here, welcome to your reading. The lighting is a little bit weird right now, but I'm sure it will change as we go into the reading. Right, so let's take a look first of all at who this person is that we are connecting to today. We've got some similar energies from option number 1, so that's interesting. We've got the Hangman and the Devil again. And also your Goddess card for who they are is, Mother Gaia with Earth. Was in reverse, but I'll keep it upright for now. Message I do get for this pile is that this could have been a more recent passing. So in the past 3 to 5 years from now, how am I supposed to say this? Anyone who's kind of passed in the last 3 to 5 years is what I'm trying to say, yeah. For some of you guys, it could be longer. I'm just saying, I do feel like I get it's not even just from this Earth card, but when I was originally pulling your Oracle cards, I get this imagery and this feeling of like soil and the earth. So for some reason, I want to say that this person is of the earth, and I don't even know what that means. Again, I get a feeling of soil. It's really strange. Yeah, I definitely feel that this is I just want to say maybe a trigger warning. I don't really know, but because this does feel a bit newer for some of you guys, a bit more recent. But I would say I feel like this person actually hangs around on Earth a lot, actually. I do think they are still in their soul is in a spiritual body still, but I think that they spend a lot of time with kind of like hanging around Earth. Especially around where they would be buried as well, I think. Which is something I didn't get for option number 1. But I do have this feeling in this pile. But we want to connect to who they were. Who they are even. They have a really warm energy to them. Really, really warm. Some of you guys, this could be a masculine figure. They could also have an interest in like maybe more of the gothic world. Or the scorpionic world. You could have shared an interest between you guys that not many other people share. It's like you bonded over something, or you connected through something that was particular to you guys. Just with this devil card here. I really feel like there was an interest that maybe separated you guys from the mainstream. Even if this is a parent, like it could have been like you guys had you both shared a connection over something that maybe your other parent didn't share if they were in the picture, or your other siblings didn't share if you've got there any. The idea of flowers is really standing out to me here. The 6 of Cups, which intuitively I don't really feel the original meaning. Again, this person might have been on the younger side when they passed. Because they still feel very much full of life or energy, of an energy of like wanting to kind of just help out any way they can. This might just be in the spiritual realm, or help out through the veil, if that makes sense. Depending on what your guys' beliefs are, to be honest, but I do feel a sense of them being walking amongst everyday people and still having some kind of contact with them in some way. Again, particularly around where they were buried, like in a graveyard, if that was where they were buried, but I do see like a church as well here, so, and flowers being important. I would say a message that they really, for some of you guys, is they really like the flowers that you put on their grave. They might have a lot of flowers on their grave, actually. I see them almost playing a joke with you guys, like, damn, how many more are you going to put on? But yeah, I do see them being very helpful. So this may have been a quality that they also had. The type of person that they were is just very helpful, always wanting to help out. Particularly help out people like the elderly, or people who were with some kind of disability, who really, really need that help. And I think they always gave from a place not of particular abundance, not of wanting any more, but maybe even sometimes a place of not even having enough for themselves. But regardless, they still gave. This Hangman is giving me major Peter Pan energy. that might have been something that you guys connected over or some kind of significance for you. But also the idea of Peter Pan, what do they call him? The boy who never grows up. I know he doesn't want to grow up, but Peter Pan kind of lives, or he's able to as well, if I think about it. He's able to kind of move between worlds, and he watches children. He watches, I don't actually know the story, but I'm thinking of the film where he goes and sees Wendy, but he lives in Neverland and he stays in Neverland. So it's almost like this person has the ability to move between the spiritual realm and our world in some way. Nature is also could have been something that's very important to them. I just see a lot of nature here. This is something they really enjoyed. Still enjoy, actually. And even with this ace being here, I feel like they had so much potential. Like, they were the type of person that you would speak about and like, oh, they're going to do great things. Like, they have so much good ideas. They can do so much. Like, even if they were really sporty, they'd be the type of person who has the level of sporting ability where they could be in like the Olympics or something like that. Like, whatever they were good at, they had the potential to go the furthest. I don't know how else I was going to say that. Let me pull some more clarifying cards for who they are. Ooh. So you guys have a lot of pentacles here. So this person could be an earth sign. So that's Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo placements. You have the Ten of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, the idea again that maybe they didn't come from much. How for the Ace of Pentacles, please? Got the Four of Swords there. Yeah, again, I see that they maybe didn't get to live out to their full potential. Because that Four of Swords, like... Can I play the Devil card, please? You have Judgment reversed. I almost feel like I'm already getting a message from them. I would also see that this person is maybe was quite defiant. Like, they didn't want to play by the rules. They were kind of like, yeah, that's boring. I'm gonna stick around. Like, I almost see the narrative of someone who had the opportunity or has the opportunity to kind of move completely into the spiritual realm, but they're kind of choosing to that's why I keep feeling like they're on the earthly plane or something like that. They're of earth, because they're kind of choosing to be here because they're like, yeah, that seems boring. I'm gonna stay here, maybe cause a bit of ruckus. I'm gonna stay here, have some fun. Like, I've still got some things I want to do, some things I want to experience. The Six of Cups here, please. We got another six, so the Six of Swords now. Again, that kind of helpful energy, really helping people move past their grief, sadness. They could have been some kind of counselor or have that quality of really moving people through their pain. I also think they want to help you move through your pain, especially if this is a more recent loss. It's like the idea of they're always with you. Like, they're always with you. Yeah, you might think about this person a lot. The Hangman cards for this person. Got the 5 of Cups reversed and the 7 of Wands reversed. Yeah, so they would feel very much like a positive person as well. Like, they want people to look on the bright side. They were always the person who kind of came with the idealistic kind of view, the very uplifting or positive viewpoint that maybe some people, maybe you were a bit more pessimistic in general, or maybe they never really let those negative experiences hold them back. They didn't let their circumstances hold them back, particularly if they did not come from much. It's like, even if I didn't have much, it's like I can still have the potential to reach. I can still be anything that I want to be, that kind of idea. Yeah, so with this Earth card here coming out, I see that this person was able to, again, that kind of idea of being very positive, but also being able to look on the bright side, look at the practical things that they could do to improve their life, improve their experience, and to live a more fulfilling and better life for themselves, opposed to focusing on what they don't have. They were the type of person who would focus on what they do have and use that to their advantage. And the Hangman is about us changing perspective, shifting things and looking in a different way. So let us see what message this person actually has for you now. So I've got a couple of oracle cards here, probably the most I've pulled for a reading in a long time. So I actually want to start with this one. So you guys have deep breathing. I see that maybe some of you guys suffer from anxiety, and this was the type of friend, parent, whoever this person was to you. I think their kind of chilled, grounded nature helped you through maybe moments of anxiety, moments of overthinking, or feeling overwhelmed in some way. See, here we have, you know what to do. That's so cool. In all battles of the heart over the mind, go with your heart, because truly it's a lot easier for your mind to catch up with your heart than for your heart to catch up with your mind. A whole lot. Not that I don't love your mind, the universe. Yeah, maybe you're more Sabrut. What? I can say it in my head, but it's like when I try and say it out loud, it's not working. Sabriel? No. Sabri? Oh my gosh, why can't I say it out loud? Okay, maybe you're more mental, and this person is more like, they go with the flow. They're going with how they feel about things. They're taking action as they feel it, rather than overthinking too much. We have the village here. Yeah, I do see this person as a very community-based person. The type to like volunteer, the type to help out those around them and think about others before they start thinking about themselves. Oh, you guys have 2 of these. Turn your love light on. Sometimes the best way to remain sane is to love like crazy. Works for me, the universe. And last but not least, we have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And we also have, it is safe for you to love. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. And I'm going to take 2 of these cards. Or maybe I'll just take 1 actually, because we're quite full down here today. Ooh, we'll see how much comes out. feel like they're trying to get it just right. Right, so you guys have the Queen of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. Right, deal. So 100% that idea of remaining positive coming through here majorly from this person. Being open, not thinking too hard about every decision that you make, and sometimes just going with it, and also trusting yourself to make the right decision, because that's kind of what it comes down to at the end of the day. It's like a trust that everything will lead you where you're meant to go, that really there is no wrong decision. And here, in all battles of the heart over the mind, go with your heart. Lead with your heart. And sometimes even just turning to the simple things, like for example, here we have the idea of deep breathing, which is so simple, but sometimes especially when we're anxious, it's something that we forget to do. And I feel like that's something this person was really good at, like just bringing you back down to, again, we saw a lot of pentacle energy there, bringing you back down to earth, or bringing people back down to earth, really. Helping them, guiding them. And maybe some of them were counselors, or they had just a really calming energy, ability to kind of just pick up on the problem and solve the problem without getting too deep within it. They could have had an Aquarius placement as well, maybe. And here we have the Queen of Cups. Again, the idea of really tapping into your emotions without, sorry about this. There we go. Without becoming overwhelmed by them. Like, she is surrounded by water, which is that emotions, that depth. But she's surrendering to it. She's not trying to control it. She's not trying to overpower it. She's not trying to shut it down. It's very open. She's very open to all the possibilities. And again, even if it's not that, yeah, this person was very open to the possibilities. They knew they had great possibilities in their life as well. They saw life as having infinite avenues. Like, nothing could restrict them. Not their circumstances, not what other people said to them, not their fears. Despite all of that, they were able to rise above that and see the infinite possibilities that life has. And I do really believe that this person is still guiding you through that now. Especially if you experience things, or what I'm trying to say is, like, especially if at certain times when you are really struggling, you think of this person, it's because their energy is around you. And that's what I saw with that Six of Swords there. So yeah, the Four of Pentacles here in reverse, it's kind of that, a bit like the energy of that Five of Pentacles, where it's not about thinking about what you don't have, like, oh my gosh, I've only got 4 pentacles, let me just hold on to these, because if I give my 4 pentacles away, I'm gonna have no pentacles, and how will I survive? It's like being in a state of trusting the universe, God, whatever it is, trusting yourself even, to a point where you can give and expect or know that you will have the opportunity to receive as well. Here it says, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. I've just been brought to that message down there. So that is exactly it. Step into an energy of giving and know that you will receive the highest energy of all. The best of the best. I do just want to quickly read this village message. Okay, God, that took me forever to find the message for this card here, the village. Oh. But I see the relationship now. So it says, around the village an unspoken boundary exists. one most villagers do not want you to cross. Though some support your leaving, still you hear whispers of doubt as you venture beyond its borders, leaving them behind. The energy of the village is present any time we feel restricted by a certain group, community, family, place, or ideology. It may have served us in the past, yet staying within its parameters will never satire our thirst for life. Thank the village for all it has provided, knowing you will someday return. For now, the world awaits. 100%. I feel like that just ties everything together, in that this person really is encouraging you to step out. It's a bit similar to pile number 1 actually, but step out of your comfort zone in a way where it might mean, well, I think it is similar to pile number 1, but also you guys got the message of remaining, tapping into that really positive mindset again, of thinking about the best possible outcomes before the worst. I know it's not easy, but it is something that we can train our minds to do, just as we have trained our minds to think always of the negative first. This person thinks that it's time for you to step out of your comfort zone. It's time for you to step out of anything that has been holding you back, whether this is a particular community that you feel comfortable in, but actually it's not pushing you to where your potential is. This person wants you to reach your potential. It may be a way that they didn't really get to. And they're not sad about that. They're not angry about that. They just want something different for you. So that is the message that this past or loved one has for you today. I hope it brought you some kind of comfort. If you enjoyed this reading and would like to see more from me, you can give this video a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Let me know what you thought in the comment section, and I will see you all in my next video, which will be another reading as part of HalloTarot week. So I will see you all there. Bye. Hi there, option number 3. Those of you who chose the Lapis Lazuli as well as the Howlite crystal, but mostly the Lapis Lazuli. Anyway, we're going to take a look first of all at who this person is. So let's have a little look through. We've got a lot of reversals, which is not my favourite to read, but it's fine. I do feel really warm, lovely energy from your pile, so that's a good sign. And you guys also have the Goddess card, Forgiveness. Goddess Branwen with Forgiveness here. Lovely. I feel like this is the type of person who was always working on something, whether it is a project of self or an external project. Maybe they were good with their hands, maybe they I don't know, I feel like they just were always working on something, and it doesn't have to mean like something physical. It could just mean that like this was always the type of person who was reading a book and like really trying to challenge their mind, or they were always playing those mind games on their phone, or always playing an instrument. I feel like they were the type of person who just was always trying to improve themselves or create something better. They may have come across as a bit of a loner sometimes. Got plus 3 of Cups in reverse. And it's like, even though they had such almost, because you've got the Queen of Swords here, the King of Wands, the Magician, like you have those court, like the high level court cards, and you have a what word am I trying to find? You have the Major Arcana here of the Magician. It's like, even though they might have possessed so much knowledge, they were at the top of whatever interest they had, and were always bettering themselves. Maybe they didn't necessarily share this on a large scale, For example, maybe they didn't have a solid friendship circle, or they were a bit distant from the family or something like that, where they weren't really able to demonstrate how much wisdom that they had, demonstrate all the knowledge, or share all the knowledge that they had. Yeah, I could see that this person could be very shy. They could be very reserved, maybe. And they're better at kind of one-to-one interactions. I see someone with a very soft heart. Someone who is quite easily wounded. Quite easily affected by what other people say. And I'm drawn to this number 7 on this card, and the what word am I looking for? The life path 7 is all about a kind of continuous voyage of spiritual wisdom, or of wisdom in general. A feeling of always needing to know more, or needing to experience everything. And it doesn't necessarily have to be going out and being active to experience that. It doesn't have to be traveling the world. It could just be reading a book and gaining experience through that way. Maybe they even like just really watching like films or TV programs, and if you challenge them, or if you ask them anything about a director or an actor or something like that, like they just always knew. So it's like whatever they were interested in, they had a lot of knowledge on it, on that subject. The King of Wands, please. So we've got the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Swords. I really don't want a lot of cards. They're going to keep in the other cards. For the 3 of Cups around, please, who this individual is. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles here. Again, interestingly on this card, before we move on, is like you have this man here. This man here kind of looking off with his own kind of interests. You've got these dogs trying to give him attention, and these two people engaging in their own conversation. And I feel like this is almost who this person was, is that yes, they were very wise. Yes, they maybe made a lot for themselves, but they didn't really have people to share it with. Or maybe not a lot of people were maybe even interested in what they had to say, or respected what they had to say. Sometimes when you have a wealth of knowledge, some people are afraid to engage with those type of people. They prefer to have a surface level conversation because that's just easier. It doesn't make them feel like it doesn't really affect their self-image or their self-worth, because they know that they can keep up with those type of conversations. And I don't think this person was like snooty or anything. I think they just thought like, well, you know, if people aren't interested in what I have to say, then they're not interested in what I have to say. Like, what am I going to do? And they weren't necessarily learning all these things to help people, but maybe it would have been nice for them to have someone, or have more people to share what they had learned. So we have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Oops. Right, I'm gonna put that up right because it just flicked up right. The 8 of Pentacles here, please. Now we have the King of Swords upright. So I do see, for some of you guys, this could have been a masculine figure in your life, if you knew this person, or if it's an ancestor, then a masculine ancestor. And then now the Queen of Cups. So again, a lot of court cards coming out here. This person knew a lot about a lot. So what don't you have here? You don't have any court cards that are pentacles based, but you do have the Ten of Pentacles here. So I definitely feel that there was certain things they were better at than others. Maybe they kind of lacked that emotional wisdom, the ability to relate to others. But their mental knowledge was very, very strong. And like I said, sometimes when people are super smart, it can kind of... Some people don't really want to engage with that person because it does their projection of their insecurities kind of just... It brings out their insecurities, I should say, actually. So it's so interesting that this Branwen message says, sometimes life invites us into conditions that challenge us to the core. As the Celtic goddess Branwen forgave those who caused their own death by a broken heart, she asks you to set yourself free from the seeds of resentment that will surely choke the life out of your dreams. So it's interesting that she forgave those who caused her own death by a broken heart. So if you think about it, loneliness could cause a broken heart. So where I even mentioned how I don't think this person was bitter about people not being interested in what they had to say, or people maybe distancing themselves from them, or whatever it may have been, they may have drawn more animals and children towards them than adults, because sometimes adults tend to have those kind of limiting ideas already established, unlike children and animals. So yeah, this person was able to forgive that, and they didn't have any there was no bad blood towards these people. They didn't think that they were better than them. They didn't think that they that these people were not deserving of them. It was just, to them, it was just what it was. So for, yeah, some of you guys, I do feel like I'm picking up on a bit more of a an older ancestor. So like someone who lived in a time where they couldn't really have the conversations that they wanted to have. Maybe it was, even though I see a masculine figure here, which I don't necessarily mean a man, I just feel like they had a certain level of masculine energy, which I think they couldn't really, like I said, they struggled to tap into the more emotional, connective energy that maybe would have allowed them to make those connections with people and translate their knowledge in a way that was digestible to people. Maybe this person lived in a time where women, or a certain type of person, wasn't was thought of as not as someone who shouldn't hold that level of knowledge. So for example, women not being able to read, or in a time where like a certain level of person, like a poor person, shouldn't know a certain level of knowledge. Like, I don't really know what I'm trying to get here, but I feel like you know what I mean, where a time where basically knowledge was very like, you get it, you do not get it. Like, it was very restrictive on who had access to what and who should know what. So maybe for them, they just thought like, well, I don't know, this is just the life I live in, and I'm learning this because this is what I enjoy to learn, this is what I like, but I don't need to, or I even forgive those people for thinking that in such a self-limiting way. So let's figure out what message they actually have for you. Actually, I want to start with this one. Oh, so we have the Queen here. So back to that feminine energy again. We have positive affirmations. Your treasure is at hand. This card says, sure, you can always find prettier, handsomer, skinnier, wiser, richer, younger, zippier. But more often than not, one learns the most, laughs the loudest, and smiles the widest with those they've already found, especially when they stop looking elsewhere. Actually, a zippier is on quite a few lists. Tally-ho, the universe, right? We have, actually, I want to read this one. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Those you love, love you. To be beautiful in the eyes of another, simply forget they are watching. And we have true love. This is a romance of a lifetime. And I'm just going to take maybe 2 of these to add to the message for what this person messages. Oh, there we go. Ooh, so we have Judgment and the Fool of Swords reversed. Okay, so I do see a very clear message here. First of all, is kind of like an acceptance of self, an acceptance of the experience that you had, in the same way that this person was able to forgive those who maybe did them wrong, who maybe didn't give them the time of day even, and had a level of acceptance about those people that were there for them, those people that did want to listen to what they had to say or digest the knowledge that they had to give. Those people that just simply wanted to spend time with them. I feel like it's a message of, if you are the type of person who looks elsewhere, who desires more, it's like, start with what you have. Like, everything that you need is already within you. Everything of value is already around you. And it's not about external things in a way that external things won't necessarily bring you the happiness that you crave or that you desire. Here with positive affirmations, again, it's that the idea of reaffirming who you are to yourself. We create affirmations because we want to feel a certain way. We want to receive again, it's about affirming, isn't it? It's about re-clarifying to ourselves who we want to be and who we are. It's not about relying on other people to give us that verbal affirmation, because we can't always get that from other people. Those you love, love you. So whether that is, maybe you live in a family who, maybe you are particularly knowledgeable about certain things, and you find it very hard to connect to other people. And it's like, whilst they might not, your friends, family, whoever it may be, whilst they might not be able to connect with you on an intellectual level or on a particular interest, regardless of that, they have a level of love for you that is of value, that can light you up, that can fill up your energy. Also with this Judgment card, I almost feel the message of, don't judge others too quickly, just as you don't want to be judged too quickly. It's important to be vulnerable despite your how afraid you might be that other people will think a certain way about you, or may label you something that you internally don't feel. And that's why where these positive affirmations come in, because you are reaffirming to yourself a certain type of being. Sorry about that, I just had to change the battery. So you guys are affirming to yourself through the positive affirmations a certain way of being, and through that it means that you don't have to rely on others to give you the same kind of validation that you are deserving of. I'm not saying you're not deserving of that, but sometimes we just can't get that in our current environment, so it's important that we can get that from ourselves. I just want to clarify the Four of Swords here, this message. The Fool has come out here. And also, what else has come out? The Knight of Pentacles. And I want to clarify this true love message as well. Ooh. King of Wands. Yeah, I almost feel with that true love message, it's like, don't overthink it. When people come in and they want to be your friend or they want to get to know you, don't overthink it. Just kind of let it be what it's going to be. Trust that if they're meant to be in your life, they will be. And if they're not meant to, then they'll find their way out. They will find the door. You don't have to. And you can be who you are. You can be your most authentic, vulnerable self without being judged for that, and still receive love through that. So what we got, the Fool card and the Knight of Pentacles here. Again, I feel like with the Fool card here, it's just about being trusting of yourself and others, being open, starting connections with people, starting new things with a new mindset each time. Not taking on, say if you've been bullied in school or something like that and now you're going to a new school, it's like not taking on the idea that, well, I was bullied there, so I'm going to be bullied here. It's like every single experience, every single person is a new person, is a new experience. I probably could have said that better, but every single experience is a new experience. So start from scratch. Rest, heal, forgive is this Four of Swords. Rest, heal, forgive, and then start again. And I'm saying that in a way where I feel, well, it comes across as like, wow, that is so easy to do. Just rest, heal, and forgive, and everything will be all right. Like, it takes work to heal. It takes work to forgive. It's difficult, but sometimes it's necessary. And it does. It helps you take control back in your life. Positive affirmations help you take control back in your life. So let's just take a look at this message of the Queen here. Okay. So let's see what we got. It says, when the Queen is seated in her rightful and righteous place, she is patient and forgiving. She waits for the grace of God and Goddess to move through her, striving and grasping for nothing. To be the benevolent leader, to embody the Queen, is to settle into deep trust, resolve, and power. The royal Queen fears nothing, for dignity itself cradles her heart. I think that's a really great message for you guys, because where you're this person that you're connecting to, where they may have not had, even say you are a queen, right? Not all of your subjects, whatever they are called, your subjects are going to love you. Not all of them are going to value the things that you do. But it takes a lot of work to have the role of someone who has that status. And funny enough, with your person, we saw so many court cards. And where I said maybe they weren't a person who in their lifetime was meant to have the level of knowledge that they had, why they might be not accepted. There's also another possibility that they were in a position of wealth and power. It might have been the opposite of that extreme, where they actually had that position of wealth and power, but the people that maybe didn't value the responsibility of having that, and not the responsibility of like, oh my gosh, I have so much money, I don't know where to put it, but the responsibility of, in those times where the people with the most wealth and power, even if we think about politics today, and I'm not really, you know, for these presidents, for these prime ministers, but just in the idea of like, where us being who we are, not even knowing what it takes to be a president, or not knowing what it takes to be a prime minister, or be in a power of a country, let's say, and we are very, very critical of those people. But I think a lot of the time we don't give them the grace of the fact that they are actually humans, and they don't really know what they're doing sometimes. They're just like kids in a big body, sometimes trying to figure out what is the best thing to do, and they don't always have all the answers. And I'm not like, it's hard for me to say that. And I think it being the queen, being in that energy of forgiveness, of self-empowerment, actually you would acknowledge that, and whilst it doesn't excuse anything, it's a level of understanding that people with a certain level of power, whether that is just knowledge, the power of knowledge, whether that's the power of money, financial power, whatever the power is, the more compassion you have for yourself and others, the more of a benevolent leader or benevolent person in general you will be. So that is the message that this passed on loved one has for you today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you thought down below. If you want to check out any more of the other HalloTarot videos, these will be linked down below. I'll probably put something up here for you guys to check them out if you want to. Yeah, I will see you in my next one, which will be another HalloTarot video, where we will be looking at who you are in a parallel universe. So if you are interested in that, stay tuned, subscribe down below, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.